Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope everyone is healthy and safe and had the best spring break possible, I guess, with what was everything's going on. I really procrastinated putting this together because of how, I guess, frustrated that we don't get to finish the semester. Been a lot of fun engaging in class with you guys. There's some fun classes we still had planned that we won't get to do, and so we'll make the best of it and do what we can. I want you to know I'm creating 3 videos here for you to watch to not overwhelm you, but overwhelm you at the same time. This first video, we'll talk to a little bit about the reading. Some really good things in this chapter that I found. It talks about the science of social media and not so much just how to make a post on Instagram, as a lot of the other books out there do. The second video I'm going to create, we'll talk a little bit about the final project and your options there. And the last video shouldn't be too long. We'll talk about the final exam as part of this class and what to expect for that. For now, just kind of going through, hopefully you got my communications. We're going to move this to kind of a Thursday type-ish schedule. I'll upload videos during the week. You can kind of watch them by Thursday. We've still got a couple of topics that I think are important. I want to talk a little about marketing automation, email marketing, customer journey maps. I think that's really important. Dive in a little bit into metrics if I can get that created. And then I do want to do this creative presentations. I'll talk to you more about it later. I'll find a way to make it happen. I want a way of you to showcase the work you've created this semester for each other and for us to engage in that. That's kind of the last couple of weeks. I found that every time I've done that in class and required students to kind of showcase something they've done this semester, we've always had a really good conversation, engagement. Other students get some creative ideas or tools that you've used, those type of things. So it's been really good. I still want to find a way for us to do it, and I'll update you on that as I figure that out. For now, talking about this chapter that I'm having you read for Thursday and some of my notes, I'm actually going to post all my notes in an announcement because there's some video links. I'm not going to bother showing you now, but I think you should go watch. They're good links, good fun videos talking about these topics. But the first topic that the book brings up that I think is important is this ML plus minus thinking, as they call it. I think it's a really good way of, we look at how, I'll pull it up here for you. I think. Talk about looking at, this quote from Gary Vaynerchuk is really key here, is that content is king, context is God. That you can create good content, but if you don't publish it at the right time, at the right place, in the right medium, it may just fall flat and may not be worth anything. And so this chapter really dives into looking at the social media cosmos, looking at the different platforms, and just taking a step back and say, is this the right medium for our content? And that's becoming more and more prevalent, that people are getting this wrong. For example, I'm almost done with LinkedIn because of how many people I see posting pictures of their kids' birthdays or their grandma's new puppy on LinkedIn. There's a place for that content, and it's not on LinkedIn. So knowing where to be and when to be at the right time for the information that your customer or potential customer wants is critical. And that's what this kind of plus minus thinking gets into, about looking at your platforms, looking at your marketing strategies and saying, hey, where do we need to be? When do we need to be there? What's the content we want to publish? What should we take and do less of? And how do we make it sound good? This reminds me of a tool that I teach in our capstone class called Blue Ocean, which reminds me a lot of, when we're going to come up with our marketing plan, what new value are we going to create? What are we going to do to make the customer experience better, right? What are we going to take away from it to simplify it, because people like simple? And how are we going to make it fun and sexy and engaging? And so that's kind of a blue ocean concept. That's also what this ML plus minus thinking is all about, is looking at the platform you're on or going to potentially be posting, and does your does your post fit? And sometimes it on the surface, you don't think it fits, but you'd be interested, it's curious to think how things come about, some inventions that we've had in history, some fun ones. For example, bubble wrap was originally wallpaper, and then it turned into, we can use it for shipping. A slinky was originally an invention for warship naval equipment stabilizer, and this didn't quite work out, but then someone said, this could work as a kid's toy, and that's history. Frisbee was the first, pie containers. Those were the first Frisbees ever created. The chainsaw was invented for actually operating on bones, cutting bones off. That's yikes. Text messages was created for client support. Still some of that going on, but obviously a lot more just for communication. Kleenex was originally invented just to remove makeup, not to blow your nose in. And now we have it for that. And WD-40 was actually used for nuclear missiles. And now it's an everyday household item that we use. So, thinking creatively sometimes requires us to look at what value we create, what things can we take away, how do we spin it in a way that's attractive to other people. And, he goes into, I'm just going to show you my notes on this right here. Timing, visual optics, emotion, strategic sensitiveness is about time, credibility, location, what words, what image, what emotions, what uniformity, what utility, and what reach, right? Combining all of those, if you're, next marketing plan you come up with for an executive, maybe tie all those things in. What kind of timing is it going to have? What credibility? Where is it going to be? How are you going to share the message, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Be sure to allocate time and resources. So you need to become a subject matter expert, but also a platform utility expert. That's where a Hootsuite is helpful. It aids in making you look like you're a team of 10 when you're only a team of 1. But also just understanding that it's a matter of where and when and what you're publishing. Okay. I like how the book goes into this concept of, is all experience good experience? And some good examples of when it might not be is, just because you drive doesn't make you a good driver. We all know that. Some mistakes can't be overcome. You can make some mistakes and crash a business. What works today doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work tomorrow. Think about radio, AM radio specifically. Sometimes you can learn the wrong lessons. So when you think about experience, you need to use experience to cultivate curiosity, think experimentally, build the right habits, make things simple, right? KISS, as we say in marketing, and be frequently learning. I think it's fail fast is what good companies talk about. And there's probably a book called that. And also think about the short and long-term benefits of what you're doing in marketing at all times, right? The short term, you want to get a sale in the door today, but there's also some long-term benefits that if you do it frequently and daily or weekly, then the benefits will be long-lasting. Okay. Real-time marketing. This is a fun topic that I wanted to bring up. This kind of book reminds me about is just how beneficial companies that can master and I guess empower their marketing teams to be able to do real-time marketing. An example that many of you are probably aware of, a few Super Bowls ago when the lights went out against the 49ers and Baltimore, Oreo quickly posted you can still dunk in the dark. I think, right? Right, they had an Instagram post, great tweet in that timing, hey, you can still dunk in the dark. So that's a real-time marketing strategy that had somebody who was empowered to push that content out, and well done on Oreo. Really funny moment at the time of the Super Bowl. Something else that kind of brings up with this, why are you getting a business degree? Ask yourself that question, is what is the biggest takeaway in a business degree? And my answer for that to you is managing risk and balancing it with reward. If that's what you can learn, that's what employers really, really want. Revenue is important, and you need to always be thinking about that. Keeping unknowns in check is critical, right? Protecting market share, growing customers. But you add social media to that question, and I'll tell you right now, risk and fear gets just blown up. Executives are afraid, giving you the power to post anything you want. There's just so many checks and balances that come into people's minds. So, being able to manage risk and balance it with reward is going to be critically important for your social media strategy if you become a social media marketer as part of your digital marketing, track or career, because there's such amount of risk that executives see right away with empowering somebody to communicate at that level with their customers. So that's, I think, plays even bigger part as we talk about social media. So how do you reduce that risk, right? As you're going out there and trying to get more empowered and get real time and be able to do that, how do you reduce that? And that's kind of comes up here. First with data, right? So, explaining to them scorecards, metrics, planned impact, competitive performance, beta testing, small testing. The more data that you can give them that makes them feel that the risk is mitigated or less unknown, then that's going to help, okay? A data-driven process is going to help too. So understanding building processes so that if there is a check and balances that the executive team wants, then you build that out and you come on and say, look, we're going to do it on this day and you have till this time to review it, that type of thing. Companies love this word process of let's make things organized so that it's efficient. Show similar success. Okay, if you want, I had a call last night. My buddy owns a Thai restaurant in Salt Lake. He's struggling like most small businesses are right now. And he said, hey, what's your marketing genius strategy? And I said, look, the best thing I can tell you to do right now is go and look at other similar restaurants in other parts of the country and see what they've done well. The ones that have done well, that have a good social media following. What have they done? What have they done? Because they're, Thai restaurants are really a radius of 5 miles. That's kind of who's going to visit their location. So go copy someone who's doing something great and do it here. And I gave him lots of other different tools and advice, but that kind of concept is just let's see what else other people are doing and see if we can't modify it or adapt it to our solution. Adoption rate of competition. I'll tell you this is kind of sometimes a strategy I've used in marketing is, going out and saying, look, our competition's doing this. They're getting a lot of success. We probably should do it too. And executives always are, got that ego in play as to, oh, well, the competition's doing it. We're not doing it. We need to do it. I've used that effectively a number of times in my convincing of executives of what to do. Use it wisely and be a little bit, what's the right word? Maybe humble when you approach it, but can still be very effective. Build a plan. Okay. Obviously build a plan. This is where we talk about our content marketing strategy. Even that same thing, social media tactics needs to be built into that. Know when you're going to post, know what the content's going to be about. The great thing is once you get an executive who starts believing in what you're posting and likes it, then you almost get free reign to do what you want. So get them on board first, jump into it, okay? And of course, goals, objectives, and milestones. Make sure you continually update, report, progress reports, growth. Again, I've talked about this before. Social media can grow very, very rapidly, and you can show great numbers. Oh, we've had 1,000% increase because we went from 10 followers to 100 followers or whatever it might be. It's some great data. It can make you look really good and really successful really quickly. So have some fun with that. Creativity. This is something else that kind of came as I, talking about building the right habits and kind of this book. I thought this was kind of fun. That this chart here, that marketing, I think you can kind of plan it into, you kind of look at it as 4 different quadrants. So over here on the left is tentpole event. This is kind of, we know what's going to happen and we know what we're going to talk about. Right? This is our planned marketing strategy. These are things that we have planned out in the year. This is what we know is going to happen. But then you also have things that, a known topic. So what's trending, but maybe it's not a big thing that's planned, but you need to have kind of smaller touch points. So, if the Kardashians change their brand style, you need to be aware if you're in the apparel industry, right? It's kind of, watching the influencers, those in your marketplace, what's the trends going on so that you know what's happening, but it might not be perfectly planned in your strategy. Then you go back to here where, hey, you've got a big event planned, but you're not necessarily sure what's going to happen inside of that big event. A fun example I have for this link right here. It was so funny watching I guess not for some people, but when the Bears kicker, who's got a history of hitting the field goal post in his kicks, it's like he aims for him somehow, kicks up this game winner, and it hits both posts. It puts the left post, it hits the bottom post, and it bounces out, and they lose the game. And the announcer immediately, he's like, "That's a double doink." And I knew as soon as the announcer said double doink, the double doink was going to go viral, right? That comment. And so it's kind of being, knowing that, here's this big football game. Now all of a sudden the double doink gets said, and that's where you have an opportunity as a marketing team to jump on that bandwagon. We put that double doink in Nuvie, and it just exploded. Like, double doink became the word. I still hear it used all over the place, kind of type of thing. And then, of course, it's the Wild West, right? The everyday of, something's going to happen. It's going to be small. I'm not sure when, but are we ready for it? Okay. And just having that real-time marketing is kind of key. Just kind of knowing these four quadrants exist in marketing, being prepared for the most planned things you can be is great, but also being agile enough to adjust to small everyday topics and trends can make you very relevant as a marketing team. So those are some of my highlights. And so again, I'm going to post all this. I know it was super quick, and there's go watch these videos. They're kind of fun examples of this topic that we're talking about. Again, just be prepared to reach and have some executive pushback when it comes to social media, the social media marketplace, and how you use it as a business, and how much free will and that you get. Most companies I found keep a tight rein on that I've been in. But having a better plan and a strategy and reducing risk, right? Talking about that, those are kind of those buzzwords that, reducing risk but creating revenue is what executives are going to care about. And so as you kind of navigate the social media cosmos, as you navigate marketing plans, I think a lot that came in this chapter really resonates with marketing teams in general and your capabilities and skills with social media. So I hope you enjoy it. Sorry about the copies. I really literally copied it out of the book on a cover machine. But again, I found it as kind of one of the more rewarding chapters when talking about more of a social media platform and concept than opposed to just random little things here and there. So I'm gonna end this video here, and then I'll jump into some of the upcoming topics that I talked about before. So if you have any questions, again, reach out to me, email me, any comments. It's been fun. I've had past students just this semester shoot me some links of topics that we've talked about. So feel free to do that anytime, LinkedIn or email. Just shoot me what you think is relevant or matching kind of this, or more content that I can use down the road. So, okay, take care. Bye.